Okay, so have you ever like been scrolling through an online store and suddenly, bam, something you've been wanting pops up on sale?
Yeah, all the time.
Right. Makes you wonder if it's just a coincidence or like, is it some A/B testing magic happening behind the scenes? That's what we're diving into today. Businesses using data to like track our every click, our every tap, every purchase, you name it.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're not talking about the basic A/B tests here. Yeah. We're going way beyond that. Into like advanced experimentation frameworks.
Interesting.
Powerful stuff.
Cool.
And we've got insights from business consultant Kamyar Shah to guide us on this. He's been in the data game for over 25 years.
Wow.
Tons of industries. But what's really cool is he helps businesses actually use this stuff to make money, not just like geek out over numbers.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's fascinating how companies are using A/B testing or what we're calling experimentation frameworks now, I guess, to really optimize everything from website design to, like you said, pricing strategies, product recommendations.
Exactly. And Shah dives into this idea of multivariant testing or, MVT. I feel like we all kind of get the whole A/B thing, right? Test two versions, see which one wins.
Right.
But this MVT, that's like...
It's next level.
Testing a bunch of different things at once.
Exactly.
Headlines, images, button colors, all of it.
You got it.
Kind of like those, those cooking shows where they're like mixing and matching ingredients to find like the perfect bite.
Yeah, that's a great analogy because it's really about understanding how different factors, they all work together.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of just saying, okay, a green button performs better than a red button.
Yeah.
You understand why that green button works better.
Okay.
In the context of like everything else that's happening.
So it's not just finding a winner. It's about finding that absolute best combination.
Exactly.
The ultimate, I don't know, if we're sticking with the food thing, like the ultimate cookie recipe.
Right. And that's where you can unlock that next level of optimization. It's not just incremental changes anymore.
Right. You're finding those game-changing combinations.
Yeah, absolutely.
That like actually make a difference to the bottom line.
Totally.
Wow. But how do they even, how do they keep track of all that?
Well, so...
It sounds like a recipe for a massive headache.
It can be. Yeah. So that's where this concept of factorial experiments comes in.
Okay.
And essentially, it's a structured way to test different combinations, right? Without having to run like a million separate tests.
So it's like having a system.
It is.
Like a super efficient system.
Yeah.
For testing all those variations.
Yeah.
Like a really good chef who can just like instinctively tell what's going to taste good together.
Yes, exactly.
Without having to like try every single combination.
Yeah. And that's what's so powerful about this whole, data-driven decision-making is that it's not just about guessing anymore, right?
It's about taking out the guesswork.
Totally.
Using the data to be like, okay, this is
what we should be doing.
This is going to get us the best results.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. And, when we're talking about data, we can't forget about, the brains behind it all.
The analysis.
Right, like the statistical methods that we're using to actually make sense of all this.
Right.
And Shah kind of, dives into this whole other level.
He does.
And it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's these two main approaches that he talks about for analyzing this A/B testing data. You've got your traditional frequentist method, and then the new kid on the block, which is this Bayesian approach.
Right. And they both have...
And I feel like before we get too far, we need to break down what those even are.
Totally.
Because I'm already picturing equations scrolling on the screen.
Don't worry.
Like some sci-fi movie.
We'll keep it relatable.
So help us understand.
Okay.
What's the deal with these two statistical titans?
All right.
Break it down for us.
Okay.
So last time we were talking about the brains behind A/B testing.
The analysis,
The analysis, exactly.
Yeah.
And we've got these two big contenders in the ring.
Okay.
You've got the frequentist and the Bayesian.
I'm ready to see what...
All right. So imagine you're running an A/B test on your website. Okay. And you want to know if this headline change you made is actually leading to more clicks.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So frequentist statistics, which is kind of, the old school,
the traditional
approach, right?
Yeah.
It analyzes the data you've already got.
Okay.
And tells you how likely is it
Okay.
That the results you're seeing are because of that change.
Right.
And not just like random chance.
So it's about being confident in the results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So like if that headline's winning,
right.
It's not just winning because,
just by chance, just like fluky. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But here's where Bayesian statistics comes in.
Okay.
And it says, okay, well, imagine like you had a hunch before you even started.
Okay.
Right? Like you had some prior knowledge or experience that makes you think, yeah, this new headline, this is going to be a hit.
Okay.
Bayesian analysis lets you
So you can
factor that in. Yeah. And then as you're gathering all this new data, you're updating what you think.
It's like a
based on what you're seeing.
Conversation with the data almost.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You got it. And I think that's why a lot of people find it kind of more intuitive.
So not just like
winner black and white. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, this is what I thought before.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of refining.
You're constantly learning.
Based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's any business, right?
Exactly.
You got to be willing to
always learn and
adapt.
Yeah. So where does he
has to go with this?
Yeah. What's next?
Well,
does he throw more statistical terms at us?
He throws a curveball. Okay. All right. And it's this concept called automated experimentation.
Automated experimentation. Okay. Now that sounds
next level.
like next level. Like robots in a lab, like sci-fi movie stuff.
It's getting there.
Okay, so it's not quite robots in a lab.
Okay.
But imagine AI systems, that can design, run, analyze these tests without a human having to do anything.
Wow.
And they're constantly
so you don't even need
learning. They're constantly learning.
Like a whole team of data scientists.
It's happening 24/7.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's got to be
constantly optimized.
Game-changing for businesses.
It is. And it goes even further than that, okay? So imagine a website that subtly personalizes itself. Okay, based on your behavior.
Okay.
So it might show you different product recommendations. It might adjust the layout a little bit.
Like what I've looked at before.
It might tweak the wording of the calls to action.
Oh, wow.
All based on what it's learned about your preferences from previous visits.
Super cool, but also kind of creepy, right?
Right. So it's how much does this AI actually know about me?
Right.
And what is it doing with all this information? And that leads us to I think a really, really crucial aspect of this whole thing that Shah talks about, which is the ethics.
The ethics, right,
because just because we can do something doesn't mean we should.
Right. Yeah, and it's is it even ethical?
Right, exactly.
All this automated experimentation and personalization.
Yeah, and Shah he's really thoughtful about this.
Okay.
He really dives into these tough questions. If companies are constantly testing and tweaking our experiences, how do we make sure
how do we
they're using this stuff responsibly?
Because it's one thing if it's just figuring out what version of a website gets the most clicks.
Yeah, right.
But when we're talking about
when you get into that AI stuff, it's whoa,
that's this
is next level.
This is different, and I think that's why it's so important. To talk about this.
Right.
And
have these conversations.
Think about it. The consequences.
Right. Yeah.
The good and the bad.
Because it's not.
It's not inherently good or bad, right?
Exactly.
It's all about how we...
It's about how we use it.
Yeah. And that's why I think,
and that's where...
what Shah is talking about is so important, because it's not just...
It's not just saying, hey, look what we can do.
Right. Exactly.
He's saying, let's be careful about how we're doing this,
Right, let's use it for good.
For good, exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's what's been so cool about, this whole deep dive, is it's not just about websites or sales. It's
it's bigger than that.
It's this much bigger conversation about data.
It is.
And what it means for all of us.
Totally. And as this technology keeps evolving, it's just going to be
It's only going to get
more and more important.
More important
to like talk about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think on that note, I think we should probably wrap things up. But
yeah, this has been great.
Huge thank you to Kamyar Shah.
Absolutely.
For like all these insights. This is
really, really interesting stuff.
Yeah. If you want to,
if you're listening,
learn more about Shah and his work.
We'll be sure to.
We'll link to everything in the show notes.
Link to it.
But until next time, keep experimenting, stay curious, and
remember, data is powerful.
Data is powerful.
But it's on us to use it wisely.
We got to use it wisely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. See ya.